Welcome everyone. It's good to see everyone back. It's been a little while since we've had an education and economic growth meeting. So today's going to be two-part potentially, depending on what the committee decides they would like to do. So we'll do kind of our regular scheduled meeting at the first time, and then may go in camera depending what the committee decides to look at some recommendations. If everyone's good with that. So could I get a motion to adopt the agenda? Heath? Shall it carry?
Carry.
So first of all, looking at a couple of correspondence we got. One was from Tim Garrity, the Chief Electoral Officer. He would like to come in and make a presentation regarding school board elections. And if the committee decides that is what they would like to do, Sean will book that for us. He had obviously been explaining some of the challenges that they see in that. So what does the committee think on having him come in?
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So we will schedule him to come in and talk to us.
Okay, and sorry, just to double check on that, consensus, yes, among
Yes.
the committee? Okay.
Yes.
The second one that we received was from Michelle Beaton, requesting that Mr. Brooks Roach come in and talk to us. He is with Youth Futures Council, and they just would like to have them in to present a briefing regarding their past work and vision for the future in engaging youth on the island and using some of their creativity and innovation moving forward. So I'm wondering if the committee has any thoughts on that, if you're ready to just have a vote on that.
Sounds like a fit.
Okay. Everybody agree? Yes.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
consensus, yeah.
Consensus.
Okay.
Excellent. Flying right along.
Everybody is. True.
Okay, so we have an ambitious plan for today. You all have a copy of the work plan summary. And so on the first side are different presentations that we've seen out of the priorities that we had identified. And then on the back is some of the other priorities we had identified and hadn't gotten to as of yet. So kind of looking at prioritizing what we would like to do next. Obviously the House is going to be sitting, but it would be nice to have a bit of a plan moving forward so we can just kind of continue on. So the first question I would ask, so have a quick peek over that list. Is there any other it's been a long time since we made this priority list, and there's been a lot that's happened and changed over that period of time. So just wondering if there are any more priorities that you would like to identify. Robert?
I'm wondering, and I can't remember whether we had it on as a potential discussion item or not, but would it be possible to have minister or representation from the department to come in to give us a bit of a update on the pre-K 4-year-olds and half-day program or full-day program, or it sounded like the half-day program the Premier announced last night. If we could get some updates, a little bit of better understanding of just what that looks like. He did call it universal last night, so I want to determine just what that means.
We had the same thought. I was thinking the same thing. Any other priorities that you might like updates on?
Sure.
Yes.
So you're asking for things in addition to the list that's in front of us?
Well, yeah, so
Or
this
to,
was just because we made this list back before, so I just want to make sure that it's still relevant and that there's not anything. We do have early childhood education here on a bit of a different scope, but it was identified as a priority. For example, one of them that I would like to bring forward, I know I'm kind of going out of line here, but it was mentioned to me by the Deputy Minister that there is a review going on with kindergarten curriculum, and so I would be really curious to hear what that looks like and what their hopes are, and also how it relates to a lot of what we've been hearing in the media recently about literacy rates and how it connects to grade 3 assessment. So I feel like that's kind of almost part of what we've been doing, an important part of what we've been doing. So just kind of, if there's anything new that's popped up.
Plus, Chair, we had heard in a previous meeting a lot of information about the early childhood and about that rollout, or somewhat we touched on the rollout too, so it'd be good to get it was kind of off topic, but we get into it, so it'd be good to hear that at this committee too, so it's a good idea.
Anything else? So I'm going to throw, actually maybe the minister or deputy could come in and talk to us both about the kindergarten review and the pre-K all at the same time. Yeah. So do we want to vote? How do we feel? Okay, so how do we feel about putting the pre-K, the 4-year-old pre-K on the list as a priority? Do we all agree?
Very strongly in favor of that.
Okay. Yes, Sydney?
Thanks. The psychoeducational assessments for school children, October 1st, 2019. Who put that forward? That seems pretty important as well.
That was identified in our first round, so we've had our presentations, and that's what we'll be talking about today in terms of recommendations.
Oh, so you already had that presentation?
Yeah, this front page are all the presentations that we've all.
So this is when so that wasn't when the request was made, that was when it was actually happening?
Right, yeah, that was the data.
Sorry.
No,
So it's
no
the
problem.
back here that's the new stuff.
That's right.
Sorry, one point of clarity. There is at least one thing on the front page that hasn't been done yet. We're having a home and school in. It would have happened earlier, except that meeting got canceled and rescheduled. Right now, we're expecting to have them back March 31st.
Right.
But otherwise, most of what's on that front page is stuff that's already happened.
The other was John Pritchard. We weren't able to reschedule him.
That's right.
The contact has kind of stopped from his part.
We haven't heard back from him recently, so
Yeah.
he hasn't been rescheduled since his first one was canceled.
Right.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's.
Yeah, I would agree that.
That one would be tops for sure compared to this list.
Okay. What's that,
Having the minister in for the
Pre-K.
pre-K, yeah, half-day pre-K.
okay. Can we have a vote on that? Does everyone think that that would be a priority?
Yes.
Maybe the priority? Would I go as far to say it would be the next one we would want to see?
You know, I'd
Is that
like to
my
see
jump
it.
in?
I'd like to see it on the next one, and that will help me out for the month of April.
Me too.
That being the case, if pre-K, do we have a motion on the floor for pre-K to be the next priority?
Can we do a vote on that?
We can.
Okay.
Yeah, if somebody puts forward the motion.
Okay. So, Robert, would you like to put forward the motion?
Yes, I'll put forward a motion that we add as a priority of number 1, the department and minister to come in to give us an update and briefing on the 4-year-old pre-K in the early childhood system. The universal program.
Right. And how do we feel about, would it be too much to put in the kindergarten review on that same day? Or would we like to perhaps?
Probably do that. I'm assuming the deputy minister will probably be with them, so, it's probably as good a time as any to bundle it up or package it up.
Okay. Can I get consensus on that we put in the kindergarten review with the kindergarten curriculum review with the universal 4-year-old program, pre-K? Ola?
I'll second that.
Full consent, does everyone agree with that?
Is that the same?
Person, like, is that?
It would be the same. It would probably be the whole same part of the department.
It would really depend who we had in though, wouldn't it, so is it that we want
So you'd have
the
to-
minister or deputy to come in to talk about that?
Yeah, I would say.
Mr. Deputy, and then they can decide,
Right.
maybe 1 or 2 others that need to be part of it. I'm sure they can handle most of it. I'm sure the minister can probably handle it.
So we can bundle them, does everyone agree? That we could see if we could bundle them together? Yeah. Okay, consensus on that.
Okay.
Excellent, okay. And so that would be our number
Sure.
1. Yes?
Just my only question is, do we feel comfortable we can get all our questions out? Like on those 2 topics? Like, I'm okay with that, but are we okay to get enough, does that give us enough time to get all the questions we need to get out on
I'm
that?
assuming it will, but I guess I'll take the liberty that if it doesn't, but we re-invite them to the second meeting.
Back again,
Yeah.
Because we have done that in here before, we've had 2 pretty heavy topics in a row, but this one, these kind of go together, I think, in my mind, it would go together relatively well. I could be wrong, but we'll try it and see what happens. Okay. So, if we look at that list, I know last time we had a bit of a challenge. Does everyone agree that it would be nice to have maybe 2 or 3 priorities identified to move forward?
I agree.
Is everybody?
This one.
So we've got early childhood education and kindergarten review as the top priority. And if we look at that list and consider that list, maybe picking 2 more topics.
Chair?
Yes, Robert?
I know that rural internet access has been in the news as of late as, also with rumors about it. So is it possible to get the minister in to talk about that one as well, or?
And where my mind was going was, there's been a lot of education focus in the meeting, so it might be nice to kind of, to branch off. Would everyone be okay with adding rural internet access as another priority?
Yes.
Sure.
Consensus there?
Well,
Ola?
I was just wondering if you, instead of kind of have priorities, are we maybe looking at areas where we are prepared to think about recommendations? Is that the wording maybe?
Yeah, and so the next part of the meeting, right now, that'll be kind of new information, right? And so what we're making recommendations on now would be the ones on this side of the
Yes.
sheet,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Is that what you mean?
No, I mean, instead of calling it priorities, calling it that we are considering those priorities for recommendations
Sure.
at a later part of the meeting.
Yeah.
Just to specify what we mean by it having priority over the other priorities.
Yeah, because we'd like recommendations.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody good with that?
I think it's good because
I'm hoping that there's an announcement coming, so then that should be a good time, and then you can get them in to go into further detail on exactly what it is.
No. So it's unanimous, okay. And so we've got George Cole's bursary, coverage of marijuana in school curriculum, career awareness, social promotion, infrastructure programs, immigration, and the economic plan and involvement of partnership for growth. Is there any in there, the one that sticks out to anyone?
Chair?
Just on the school food program, did John Pritchard ever respond, or never?
No.
Not to recent inquiries, no. We had a meeting scheduled with him that was canceled, and we haven't heard back from him more recently, so I'm not sure if he still wants to pursue that or not. We might hear from him yet, but we just haven't heard from him recently.
So if we hear from him, then we would go ahead with setting up
Yeah.
our meeting. Okay.
Yeah, he's already sort of in the priority list from when it was agreed upon before. So if he does get back to us, we could pick that up again, but right now, there's no plans for him at this time.
Right. Okay. All right, what do we think? I mean, we have identified 2 here, so we've got, we still have our recommendations we're working on. We've got these 2. We've got home and school coming in. I don't know if we want to make another one or if we're happy with.
Would it be timely, and just because we're now, heading into March, May, would it be timely to bring somebody in to talk about social promotion, as school year will be coming to an end in June, and give us a better understanding of that, or if it's something that should be any radar on? I don't know. I'm looking at the thing and saying, timing wise, towards the end of the school year, put it in a priority of 3 or 4.
And it does go very well with psychoeducational assessments as well.
Yeah.
So it might be nice to look at that. Actually, I've been hearing from a lot of people about that recently. Yeah. Cindy?
Where did that request come from? What's the context behind that one?
Social promotion, so like putting kids, either holding kids back in grade or pushing them
I
forward.
understand
Yeah,
what it
okay.
is. Just remember the context of where
I
it came
can't
from.
remember where it
Not
came
its history, just
from.
who
Like
put
who brought it forward?
Yeah, and what.
Context, did they give a reason why? Or we've done this presentation and talked quite a few times, and I've only been here for a little while. I can't imagine you've been here since 2007, but but if it's coming up again and again. But I'm just wondering in what context it came up.
Like, obviously, I've never been a part of the meeting before, and I've been hearing from a lot of constituents who have been, you have to fight hard to get your child, if your child is not doing well, and you know, like, one more year would be good for, like, you have to really fight hard for that, and often you don't get it. And I just had a phone call about it last night, 2 days ago. So it's fresh in my mind. Now, I feel like it came from this side of the room. I feel like it was either Ernie or James, but I don't.
It may have been James. Now that I think about it. Yeah, I believe it was, now that you say, because he's talked about social promotion a lot. Yeah, I believe it was.
Do you have any more legend?
No, I'm just curious.
To the background behind it, or what, if there was something that had prompted it, but just hearing that you and Robbie talk about that it's been, people are bringing it up, makes sense.
Just a point of clarity on that. While the committee's been talking about that, I looked up social promotion in the recent transcripts. It seems to date back to August of the past year. It was raised in a meeting then by Ernie Hudson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've waited a while, so.
Put it on there.
Does everyone agree with that? The social promotion is the third priority? Yeah? Okay.
Consensus on that for number 3? Yeah.
And by that time, we may have the home school figured out and the school lunch program, so that'll be 5 opportunities.
Yeah, I think that they tie really well together based on the work we've done and what our path forward is. Okay, that was much easier than I thought it was going to be. Great. Okay.
That's
So,
the A-team here.
2 best ministers.
review of scheduling. Okay, so
Quiet.
the last thing, well, no, I guess we got a couple more things, but our next meeting is on March 31st, and just to note a change of time, it's at 4 p.m. with Home and School. That's the next scheduled meeting. If we're able to get someone in before that, perhaps we will do that. There's a couple of Tuesdays in there that aren't going to work. John Pritchett, we have not heard back from, but if and when we do, we'll schedule a meeting at that time. And that's it for scheduled meetings.
Pretty much, yeah.
And is there any new business to bring forward? Corey?
Actually, I probably should have brought this up a couple of items ago, but I just see here the provincial parks, which I think I sent that over
You
for
did.
public. Yeah, so now that I remember.
You did. And it's not, yes, you're right. I apologize, Corey, it's right there, yeah.
But now that I think about it, I think there was $3 million
Yes, that's
in the capital budget for,
There's a substantial amount in the budget
Yeah.
for that, yeah.
but so it might be interesting to see what they plan, what work they plan on doing for each provincial park, and just a thought.
Yeah,
It wouldn't, I don't think it's really a priority, but
we could put it on the list.
Sure.
Sydney?
Corey, would you be good with like sending them a letter to see
Yeah,
if they can
that
explain
might-
it out? And then if what you want is in the letter, then that's good. If not, we ask them to come in.
yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Just, it was a letter that basically just says, we wanted to hear about what was going in. We see that there's this much in the capital budget. Can you explain the detail or the breakdown of how that'll be distributed or something like that?
Is everyone good with that? Does everyone agree with that? Sending provincial parks a letter asking for some clarifications around spending? Yeah? Okay. Excellent. Any other new business? Ola?
Well, I don't know if this is the point to bring it up, but I've been thinking about the motion on free school lunches that we passed a couple of times ago, and I'm reconsidering my position when I look at the additional money that needs to be spent for free lunches. I think pay-as-you-go is a better option, because it still gives free lunches to those who need it and leaves money for other things like playgrounds or equipment or whatever that's badly needed. So that's my new position.
And we will be talking about school food coming up here very shortly as well. So if that's it for that part of the agenda, we can end the meeting in this part and go in camera, which is, you know, the common practice, to talk about our report to the House. Does everyone agree with it? Is that a vote? Does everyone agree with that?
Need a motion.
Can I get a motion to what do we say, to go in camera?
To go in camera.
To discuss the report?
I'd
Ola?
like to put forward the motion that we go in camera for the detailed recommendation discussions.
I would say yes.
Shall it carry? Shall it carry? Try again. Shall it carry?
Carry.